And it was even harder because with Bellsprout, you didn't have a chance to evolve it before going against Misty.
That's right.
The problem we've noticed with some of our Pokemon, they evolve at fairly early ages. I believe with our starter Pokemon, it is at level 16.
That I've got to double check as well. See if I remember right, it's 16 for Squirtle and Charmander, but it's 18 for Bulbasaur.
I believe you might be right about that. I believe one of them is different, but the difference with Bellsprout doesn't evolve into Weavile until level 23, which by that point you might not even be able to control Bellsprout anymore, because when you battle Misty and you win her gym badge, it allows you to be able to command Pokemon up to level 30.
Which is a benefit, because at about her level, you're going to be in the 20s. I'm actually going to quickly switch Karate Chop up, because it's one I'm going to be using a lot. You're going to be right about your mid-20s, and once you get to about 30, if you don't have Misty's gym badge, it can be disastrous for you. Like we said before with the healing a lot, when I first started playing Pokemon, my strategy was power through, see how many trainers I could beat before I absolutely had no choice but to go to a Pokemon Center. And now, after a few years of playing Pokemon and the different incarnations and getting to learn as much as I can about them, I've realized that that's just not a... excuse me for jumping all over the place. That's not a feasible strategy anymore. Playing smart is about having healthy Pokemon. If you try and power through as many people as you can, you're going to run into some problems, such as potions and revives. They don't actually explicitly tell you this, but if you notice how your Pokemon perform in battle, you find out that if you use for example, if you use a revive on a Pokemon, they are not as strong when they come back as they originally were. They don't have as high a defense stat. And it doesn't show you this in the numbers. I'm going to quickly jump through here and see if I can grab a Jigglypuff for you all. But the numbers won't change, but it won't take half as many hits to KO your Pokemon again after it's been revived or had a potion used on it. And that's simply because it's actually a little bit more of this Pokemon common sense we were talking about, whereas something like an energy drink, the difference between a potion and a Poke Center is the difference between having an energy drink or taking a nap. If you have an energy drink, you're going to get that jolt of energy to bring you back, but it's not going to stay with you. If you have a nap, get some sleep. You're going to be well rested and ready to take on whatever. So that's really... It's a bit of common sense in the world of Pokemon, so to speak. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking for Jigglypuff. If I don't find one, tough luck.
I believe some of them are found more towards the entrance of the cave and also within the cave.
That's true. I've seen a Jigglypuff in the cave. So I'll take on this Spearow, and that'll be the end of the wild Pokemon chasing for a time while I continue towards Mount Moon.
And we just had Pidgey out here a second ago, and if I'm not mistaken, Pidgey evolves into Pidgeotto at level 18, so it is feasible for us to evolve it before trying to challenge Misty, which a Flying-type Pokemon does not have any effect whatsoever when going against a Water-type Pokemon. It's not super effective, it's not one way or the other, it's just a regular normal effective. But having a higher level Pokemon that is evolved, because once they evolve, they are much stronger than they were before.
That is true. Stats on Pokemon take a huge jump when they evolve. Sometimes it's not as noticeable. I'm not going to heal twice, but it definitely happens. Now, I'm going to quickly go over... See this sketchy-looking bald dude? See how our money just showed up? He's got a deal just for us. A secret Pokemon, a Magikarp, for just 500 Pokédollars. So buy it, am I right? No, you're not right. He's trying to do this as a favor to me. Yeah, no. A Magikarp is no favor. So we're nice and healed now. None of these people are actually trainers, they'll just talk to us. There we go. Let's Guy thinks Brock is cool, which kind of is. And she tripped over a Geodude. Ba-dum-bum. Alright, here we go. Mount Moon. Now, Mount Moon has some sketchy music. I'm going to grab this particular item, but one thing I'm not going to do in here, I'm not going to catch a Zubat, no matter how much they try and make me. I'm not a big fan of Zubat. I never have been. I mean, I know it can be a useful Pokemon, but I've just never liked it.
Although, one advantage to having all these Zubat around, and this is fortunate that we have Pikachu up front, this is a prime time to level up your Pikachu because Zubat is a flying type, meaning it is susceptible to electrical attacks. When you get Pikachu up a few more levels, you'll find that these low-level Zubat will go out in one hit from Thundershock, making them very easy. Basically, it becomes target practice for Pikachu, and Pikachu can level up very quickly. The offside of this is what we just saw with a Geodude. A Geodude is a rock ground type, and ground types are immune to electrical attacks. And in fact, ground types moves are super effective against electric Pokemon. So obviously, we're going to switch to Bulbasaur, who is super effective against it, and this way, both of them can earn some ample experience.
Indeed. I'm actually not going to explore the whole of Mount Moon. That would take many more videos than I really want to put into this. I'm just, like I said, this is a basic straight walkthrough. It's not a full walkthrough. So, I'm just going to show you the way through Mount Moon. I'm stopping at certain trainers. I'm not going to fight them all. So, if you really want to complain, go ahead, but you have your warning. I'm not going to sit here and do everybody, because it would just take forever. I mean, I understand that certain trainers... most trainers in Mount Moon are actually avoidable until you get to the lower level. Once you get down there, I'll spoil a surprise for those who haven't played the game. Team Rocket is down there. And the Rocket trainers are not avoidable. However, up here, most of the trainers are avoidable, and as such, I tend to skip over them. I save them for later, because I'm, again, a strange kind of person. I like to come back and try and raise some of my low-level Pokemon to evolve them when I'm doing a Pokedex run. And so I save trainers in Mount Moon, because using the Versus Seeker gets kind of annoying after a while.
And it does, especially because when you use the Versus Seeker once, it has to recharge. But but it's sort of a love-hate relationship with the Versus Seeker. I like the Versus Seeker now because in the original Red, Blue, and Yellow games, you could not go back and re-battle trainers that you had already battled.
Right.
You had to plan it strategically. If you wanted to level up Pokemon later, you actually had to avoid trainers as you were going through the game. Otherwise, once you got up to a point where you really needed to level up your Pokemon, there would be no one left for you to battle. You would have
to sit there and battle wild Pokemon. And while that's not a problem, there are unlimited amounts of wild Pokemon in this game. The amount of experience you get from a trainer's Pokemon versus a wild Pokemon is vastly different. And I cannot emphasize that enough, how vastly different it is. It is honestly night and day, the difference in XP.
Also due to the fact that having trainer battles, it's what earns you money.
That as well.
So if you did not leave yourself any trainers, when you got to a point you really needed to level up your Pokemon, you needed potions, you had none, you had no income.
That's right. That was actually... It's not technically regarded as a glitch, because it's kind of programmed in, but it is an issue with the original Pokemon games, where eventually you could run out of money, unless you cheated in some more gold. There was a finite amount of money in the game. After you beat a certain number of trainers... Oh, we can't run away from this yet. After you beat a certain number of trainers, and you beat the Elite Four, I think the only way you could get money was to re-challenge the Elite Four.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to raise a team, do you really want to stop, put that team away, break out your Elite Four team again, and go back through that just to get money to keep raising your team?
No.
It got redundant and a little ridiculous, to be honest.